Good day. Glad to have you here at Bethlehem, and we're making room for you. What? You don't need a room? Well, I'm glad you say that because actually I have a vacancy. Well, no, you got it. I know what the scripture says, but I am not a cruel, heartless landlord. You misread what the scripture says. Yes, the Bible says the baby was laid in a manger because there was no room in the inn. But let me tell you the true story. I was there. Let me set the record straight. Yes, I am an innkeeper. But for me and my wife, we call it home. My grandfather built this house. He built it at the heyday of his trade business. He had 14 children to take care of. So he built this large house with many rooms. Over years, it's been passed down through the family. I have inherited. Me and my wife, Rachel, we have raised our family in it. It's been a good home to us. But then the kids have married, had jobs elsewhere, and we have this big old house to ourselves. So, what are we going to do? Well, we thought, why don't we, when travelers come through town, just put them up. Rachel is exquisite cook. We got plenty of space. Why not just do this? So we just mentioned it around. We didn't advertise it. We didn't post it on the web. No, we just told people if you have someone coming into town and they need a place to stay, send them our way. They started coming, one or two at a time. People enjoyed our home. It felt like home to them. And once they've had some of Rachel's lamb stew, they were coming back the next time they were in town. They loved our establishment. We were good to the community, and the community was good to us. But then the governor, I do not know what got through his mind. Yes, I do. He was just looking to raise taxes and put more money in his pocket, so he ordered that stupid census. Of course, that helped us out, but it was also a problem. Everyone was required to go back to their hometown. Some people haven't been back to Bethlehem for years. And there were more people returning than there were homes or inns. As that week started, people starting to check in. We put a family in each room, but they kept coming. Soon we had 3 to 4 families per each room, and me and Rachel were sleeping with 5 other families in the main room. I put the sign out, but people still kept knocking. Do you have room? No, go down the road. We don't have, come back tomorrow. People are leaving. You can come in then, but not tonight. But in truth, I knew that no other inn had vacancy either. So many people who was coming into Bethlehem on that windy, cold, sleepful night were sleeping under the eaves of some of the houses, covering up in blankets. But what else could I do? I had no room to spare. We are already sleeping on top of each other. Matter of fact, every time that door knocked, I had to crawl out of my bed and step over 5 or 6 individuals, trying not to wake them up to answer the door. But again, each time I turned them away. Until he came to the door. He was the one exception. In truth, there was nothing really different about him than anyone else who came to my door. I think he said his name was Joseph, and that he was from Nazareth, of all places. He was a big guy, burly. You could tell he worked with his hands, because when he shook my hand, I about lost it there. I told him again, look, no vacancy. Go someplace, go down the road. They should have, even though my heart, I knew there was no vacancy anywhere in town. I just had no room. But all he could talk about was this poor Mary. This poor little Mary. Finally, he just stepped a little off to the side, and little Mary wasn't so little. She was great with child and very pale. I could see that at any moment that child was coming. Who am I to turn a woman who is about to give birth into the cold air? I'm not that cruel. I'm not that heartless. But what was I supposed to do? There is no place in the house. The house. Who said it had to be the house? We do have the stable. It's not much, but at least it'll help this young couple to find some comfort. They will stay dry and be out of the wind. So I led them to the stable. I put the animals in the outside pen. Joseph and I quickly cleaned up a little corner and had Mary sit down. And then I learned that Joseph really knew nothing about birthing babies. Do you know a midwife in the area? Maybe you can come tomorrow or the next day. This lady was due second. He's talking about another day or two. I said, don't worry, I'll look into the matter. I quickly left, ran to Aunt Sarah's, knocking on that door, waking my uncle up. Could you get Aunt Sarah? There's a traveler who came to my house, who is great with child, and is due any minute. He left to go get her. I took a deep breath and then hurried back. Hurry! Any minute! Aunt Sarah came down and we rushed back to the stable. And as soon as Aunt Sarah saw little Mary, she told me to go get my Rachel. I went and got Rachel, brought her back, and Mary was being taken care of then by Rachel and Sarah. And all of a sudden, Sarah turned to me and Joseph and goes, "Men do not belong here. Get out." We went to be nearby, but didn't go outside either. So we went to the opposite side of that stable and just stood there for hours. Or it seemed like hours at least. And then we hear a gentle coo. Yeah, something like that one. And then Angel just peeked around the corner, and sure enough, there was the baby. And Sarah goes, "It's the boy! Come, come, come!" We came and Aunt Sarah handed the baby to my Rachel, and they bundled up in swaddling clothes. I gotta say, that was one of the cutest babies I've ever seen. When Joseph came over, he went directly to his Mary, gave her a big hug, kiss on the forehead. I was just there for her. We quickly handed the child over to the mother, and Rachel came to my side and goes, "Doesn't this remind you of when our little Reuben was born?" Of course, ours wasn't born in the stable, but never mind. It's still the memories that flooded us. Well, the lantern was blowing almost out by now, and the cow were softly lowing, and baby Jesus was asleep in his now mother's arms. That's how I left him, and I then walked Aunt Sarah back to her home. The sleet had stopped, but it was still chilly in the air. By the time I got back home, I went straight to the house. And once again, locked the door behind me and trying to step over people without waking them up. Looking forward to finally a night sleep. My head was about to touch the pillow, and then all of a sudden I hear a ruckus outside. I'm the proprietor of this business. I better find out what's going on. So, pull myself up out of those blankets, stepping over again. 5 or 6 people, not trying to wake anyone up, going outside. Looking around the corner, I see them. Shepherds. Those smelly, rotten, thieving shepherds. What are they doing here? But they were in a barn, kneeling. Possibly pray. The older one was talking to Joseph. And I was getting ready to go in there and kick them all out when Joseph saw me and goes, No, everything's all right. They're here to see the Christ baby. My job, I'll hit the floor. Christ baby? The Messiah? That promise was here. All I could do is what the shepherds would do. Go before the babe and kneel. I watched and prayed and heard the older shepherd recount his story of how angels visited him and his comrades out in the fields, telling them of his holy baby who was wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a stable manger. My Lord, why have you blessed me? It was my stable where the Christ was born. My manger is now where you rest his head. My straw, my lamp. It was my Rachel who helped deliver him. The shepherds left after a while. Some of them leaned over and kissed the Christ child. I was one of them. Yes, I did not make room in my house for that infant that very first night. But you can be sure the next night they were in the woods. I did what I could for that holy family. So I'm not a mean innkeeper. I just could only give what I could. And you know what? I later saw that young baby when he came back as a young man, back into Bethlehem, telling of the kingdom of God. I believed at his birth. I believed when he came back. And I still believe today that he is our deliverer, our redeemer, and our Messiah. But I did make room for him. I hope you are too. And I hope that when you do look at other people and maybe are not celebrating Christmas as you think they should, remember my story. Some people think I should have given him my best room. I did not know who he was when he first came. But I gave him what I had. And it was the best Christmas ever. How about you? It is easy to cast blame on the innkeeper. Well, if he known, he would kick someone else out and made room. Or gave up his bed. The innkeeper did not have much of a bed himself. And as for all you mothers and grandmothers know, when you're about to give forth a child, you need all the room you can get. To be crowded is not where you need to be. An open stable is a perfect gift the innkeeper can provide. We look at our world and sometimes wonder why do they celebrate Christmas or even Easter in ways that we think they should. Who are we to judge? They're doing with what the best that they can. All we really are called to do is just remind them of the true story and the true meaning. How they celebrate it, that's between them and God. There's not a guilty party, except maybe the guy next week. That guy named Herod, who kills babies, but otherwise there is not a guilty person at that nativity story. They all celebrate Jesus in a different way. An innkeeper gave up his estate, and he had nothing else. Magi, who came great distance giving gifts, which some of us are scratching, okay, if you have a newborn child, you're bringing gold, frankincense, and myrrh, not diapers and formula. Joseph and Mary gave of themselves for not only a night, but 30 plus years. Everyone had a story. Everyone worshipped according to what they had. Let us do likewise. And let it be a true season of rejoicing by listening to everyone's story and partaking. Let us stand and sing our closing song at this point in time. Away in a Manger, number 216.